Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. If you are watching this content and if you love this content, I can guarantee you of a few things. One, you are going to buy a home at some point. Two, if you have it, you might want to sell it at some point, or you might want to buy a home to invest. At whatever stage you find yourself in, there are mistakes that people continuously make when it comes to making decisions around this. And today I am joined by the amazing Blessing Sunday, who is going to give us some absolute value and nuggets on this topic of property investing and decisions that you have to make around property. And a bit more, but I won't spoil the surprise for you, but there's a bit more coming that will absolutely bless you. Welcome, Mama.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And I'll tell you a trick around the podcast. I was telling a friend who was asking why I was inviting a particular person, and I said, there's content that I want to teach. I want to make business education and financial education accessible to the masses, but I also have a selfish reason every now and then. If there's something I want to learn how to do, I look for people who know how to do it and call them for a podcast.
Wow, that's an awesome way to do it, eh?
So the last time I wanted to start investing in equities and stocks, I called someone and I told them, I want to get into this thing. So let's do a podcast.
You see?
I'll ask all the questions that I need.
That's awesome, eh? Because then you dodge the consultation fee.
Clearly, you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You got my hustle. What got you into property? How did you find yourself in this space?
I would say it was God sent. And my passion for working. My husband is a pastor. We were transferred to a city called Polokwane, and there I was looking for work. So as a pastor's wife that goes from city to city, and you love working, you just tell yourself, whatever work I get, I'll do it. So I remember the first interview I went was for a real estate agent.
Okay.
They were looking for a PA, and then you also man the reception. So I said, I'll take it. But then the woman was saying, but you are not a receptionist, you're not a PA. I said to her, look, at this point, I just want to work. I'm not used to sitting at home.
Yeah.
So the second day at work, my principal then in Polokwane, she said to me, no, I'm training you to be an agent. Not just an agent, to be a sales manager.
Whoa.
Yes, because she said, no, if I put you here, I'll be wasting talent. And I said to her, but I don't know anything about property. I've always loved property. I think I said in the other podcast yesterday, because my parents were moving also from one city to another. So I got fascinated by moving from one place to another, imagining what kind of house we are going to live in and what it was, because to us it was an inevitable thing when we are going to move, highest 2 years. So it got me interested in property. And also the anxiety of moving and packing and stuff. That's what gave birth to my love for rentals. I do more rentals, crazily so. I'm passionate about residential rentals more than anything else. Because it's the most stressful thing that one has to go through. Moving from one place to another, having to find a proper home, getting into a new city, packing and everything. You want to be handheld by someone who's, it's not just a job.
Yeah.
They're willing to help you. When people arrive in a city, you become their friend, their know-how. If they want to go somewhere, they'll even ask you, this shopping center, is it safe? So you become close to each and every family that moves. So my people's passion and my love for people and love for moving, I would say, coupled with what I became now, what's pushed me to real estate.
I can tell you're passionate and you clearly love it. We could tell on stage, by the way. But I'm curious about this one thing, and I want to help someone watching who is about to get a job or who are employed, because you're saying you did 1 or 2 days working, and
Yes.
someone looked at you and just immediately said, "No, we are wasting talent here."
Yeah.
What do you think they saw in you? How are you showing up? If now that you're reflecting,
Yes. Everything that I do with passion. Because I'm a child of God, and I always believe what the word says is whatever you find to do it with all your heart, do it diligently. So I always believe in diligence. And I'm not one person that waits to be told what to do. If I get to a place and I see that these cups are not in the right place, I
you're
don't
not
need.
waiting for
I've
instructions.
come to work, so I'm not going to wait for instructions. Should I move this cup? So that's one thing about me. And the second thing about me is what I always say when I visit students, degree holders, to say, what you need to do in this life, first of all, get your foot in the door. Don't wait until you get an engineering job because you've got an engineering degree. Find something to do. When you are there, your talent will be discovered. So I was discovered in a real estate firm, which I never learned for. My principal took it upon herself to make sure that I'm trained. And I became a sales manager for rentals and sales. And when I came to Mpumalanga, she wanted me to start the branch of that agency. But when I went to ask another principal of a big company where I ended up working for 7 years,
Yeah.
he said to me, Blessing, this city is so, small. Nobody's gonna give you a chance if they don't know you. Why don't you work with us a little bit before you start the branch? So he also saw something in me. I ended up
So
working there
this
for
is
7 years.
this is a recurring theme for you.
Yes, and so I worked there 7 years. Then the end of 7th year, that's when La Grace Properties was given birth to.
I love that you say a Christian and a believer as well. What would you then say to someone who says, clearly this one has grace that I don't have? Maybe you pray a certain way. Because there are believers that look at other Christians and just assume that things happen easy for this one, not for me.
I always believe that when your heart is right, all things work together for good. Grace works with the motive.
Okay?
So I always believe that the heart of a person, your heart, remember, God said to Samuel, sorry to go into scripture,
No.
but that's who I
By
am.
all means, by all means.
Men look on the outward, but God looks at the heart. So I always believe that what is inside you, God knows. So what we call favor, it's God seeing what is inside you and then moving ahead of you. Then he puts the glory on you because he'll not waste his glory. He's not going to waste his favor. I mean, you can be favored, but you're hidden. Esther was favored,
But he did.
but the uncle was hiding her from being a queen. By God's grace, she was taken by force to go to the palace, and the favor started speaking. But if she had run away from there, would not have heard of Esther. Another person would have become a queen. So the heart is very important. Whatever I do as Blessing Sunday, I do it with passion. Right now, I'm co-pastoring a ministry with my husband.
Yeah.
I'm still a member of choir. That's why I was singing today. Because I believe in service. There's no entitlement in life. Title is just, I believe in service. So I've seen so many people that carry favor. It's the heart. Joseph, it was the heart that gave him favor. The brothers were there, they thought of selling him. But because of his heart, he went to Pharaoh's house. He didn't just say, I'm favored. He worked to a point that Pharaoh recognized, but not for Pharaoh, Potiphar,
Potiphar.
recognized that, no, there's something about this guy.
I've seen
He
people
put
work,
him
but
in charge of his house. So the story of Joseph is the one that said to me, no, you have to have something inside you. You have to be diligent. Then you activate favor. So favor is the spoon that you use to stir the tea. Because God has made you already a cup. Then inside you, you've got the sugar, you've got the tea bag, you've got the water, you've got the milk. But you need the spoon to stir it up. So when God sees that tea, check, Water, check. Milk, check. Favor will now
Here's
stay
the favor.
up. Wherever you show up, favor locates you.
Wow. So that's a classic case of actions speak louder than words.
Thank you.
Let your diligence go before you.
Mitiro, iyabulabula. That's what I learned. That's what I learned.
All right. And then you get into a property. And
Yes.
today I want us to talk about mistakes that you've seen when it comes to buying a home, selling a home, because you are by now an expert in the field.
Yes, 13 years to be precise.
That is a lot of experience. Let's talk
Right.
about people who are about to buy a home or buying their first home. What are some of the mistakes and some of the questions that they don't ask that they should be asking that you've seen?
All right. Let me talk from the perspective of the mistakes I've seen when now somebody is selling. That's where we realize the
Okay.
mistake they made when they were buying.
Oh,
Number one, like I said yesterday,
yeah.
you need to research when you want to buy a home. You need to know, where do I want to stay? What kind of area do I need? That's number one. Number two, what kind of property am I looking for? Us as real estate agents, when you call me and say, Blessing, I want a house, my question is, what are you looking for? When you say anything, I need to have a serious meeting with you.
Anything nice?
Anything nice, you must know. Do you want 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms? Do you want 1 bed with a separate lounge and a kitchen? Do you want a bachelor? Do you want a 3-bed, 2-bath carport? Do you want a 3-bed, 3-bath with a big yard? Because some people say, I bought this house, but I forgot that my kids were going to grow. They're going to play around the yard. And this house now, I realize the yard is too small. I loved the house, but the yard is not workable. So now I have to move because I want to have dogs. I want my kids to run around. So it means when this person was buying, they didn't have a
didn't think about
vision.
the future.
Yes, the wife was not yet pregnant. Now she got pregnant, gave birth. Now they have a baby that is crawling everywhere and there's nowhere to go. They realize, oh, so what am I trying to say? Buying a property is something that must be well thought out. It's not like getting into a shop like, I'm buying this t-shirt. What is the reason you're buying? Are you buying for yourself? Are you buying something bigger? Is it a startup that you want to move out later and rent out? So all those things, they will help you to buy right. Mistakes people do is buying without thinking, then they regret later. Buying without checking this house. Some people even tell you, well, I've seen so many properties, I don't need to come and see it. Just send me the offer to purchase. But the day they move in, they're like, no, never, I don't want this. No, I thought the room was bigger. Or some people even tell you, I saw the house, but I thought my couch would fit in.
Okay.
And this is after 3 months of waiting for your keys. So the mistakes...
So the people that have bought houses and then their property doesn't fit in.
Yes! Little things like those. Little things like those that just look, So now I even ask people, are you sure you don't want to go back with your wife? Are you sure you don't want to go and measure your stuff and come and check? Are you sure your car is going to fit in this garage? Because I had an incident where this guy bought a house, but now his twin cab was those big, massive ones. It can't enter this garage. So he thought, should he park out? Should he sell it? It's funny stuff, but now sitting on my chair, I'm thinking, no, if you want to buy a house, it's the biggest investment you're going to have. Take it seriously.
It's a powerful warning.
It's like, especially if you're buying for the first time and the bank is giving you 100% bond, it's like you're not buying it. It doesn't sink in. Many first-time home buyers, it doesn't sink in until they've signed the offer to purchase and they're going to sign the transfer documents. And now they are seeing the document they signed about the defects of the property that I actually didn't check the defects of this property. So the number one biggest problem when it comes to now serious matters that can take you to court, defects. Defects.
They can take you to court.
You move in and you find that you never noticed that the ceiling was leaking. There was a leak. And the agent didn't tell you. But the agent said, but I took you to the house, you looked at it. You didn't ask, I didn't tell, So you and the agent might go to court, or the house seller that said, no, everything is fine. Remember yesterday I said, these days, if you have to climb into the roof
Climb
to
into
check,
that roof and check.
you have to actually get a property inspector to check the roof if it's not leaking, to check if there are, so if it's footstools, know the footstools you're getting yourself into. Let it be footstools that you can negotiate and pay maybe, okay, I've negotiated 50K. That 50K, I can fix 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give you one example. It's a case study that I actually did in one of my exams for real estate.
Yeah.
The house was carpeted. And the advert said it was laminate floors.
Oh.
So when the guy walked into this house, he saw the carpet, but he thought the laminate floor is under the carpet. Transaction went through. It's a case study in one of our exams, either NQ4, NQ5. The guy moves in, and he moves this thing.
It starts sliding.
It's a carpeted place. Then he tears one corner, he lifts it up. No, it's Timakar down there. There's no laminate floors. He calls the agent. But you said on the advert there's laminate floor. Yes, sir. That's what the owner told me. But did you check? The agent didn't check. The purchaser didn't check. The seller says, no, I can't remember telling him anything about laminate floors. So this guy says, I don't want this house. I want my money back. The agent has eaten the commission. The guy has chowed the money. And so it went to court. So you find that now, this is why in our real estate laws, part of the laws now is the defects list is a must. If an agent does not have a signed defect list by the seller and they confirm, they will be liable.
Who's liable? Is it the seller or the agent?
The seller, the agent, especially because now you are the professional. You are supposed to advertise what you know. Remember now, the Consumer Protection Act covers the client.
Okay.
If you advertise laminate floors, you must give me laminate floors.
They must be there.
But now look at how long it's gonna take to go to court.
Yeah, the back and forth emotionally can be exhausting.
And by that time you're using money from your pocket to sue the agent. And any given agent, I mean, if it was not the principal agent like me, it's one of my agents, they don't have the money anyway. So probably there will be someone to pay you. Then they will say, I'll pay. I've got 3 drews coming up. I'll be paying 50 rand a month. So those are grave mistakes that happen. And especially when it comes to defects, don't get excited about buying a property, even a brand new property.
Okay.
Developments, for instance, they are brand new, they are poshy, they are nice. And so many people buy off plan.
Okay.
So when you're buying off plan, ask questions about the contract. How long do I have if there's any challenges with this building? There are some buildings you find before 6 months, after 6 months, cracks everywhere. Tiles are popping up. Blessing, you sold me this unit, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's call the developer. Mr. Developer, my client is unhappy. Yes, Blessing, what's wrong? Yeah, check the contract. You had 6 months to complain. But I moved in
after
a month.
6 months now.
I moved in a month before the 6 months was over, and I started noticing the whole tough luck. Not my monkeys, not my circus. That's it, just like that. So I actually started a property podcast, and I was addressing all these things, but Yeah, I gave up at some point.
No,
It's
no,
out
no.
there because the
With how
public,
much you've scared me now, and you're not even done with the episode. That podcast needs to
you
come
know,
back.
people think having an agent paying them 10% is a waste of money, but it can save you big losses. And it's good to have a good agent that is well versed, that is well knowledge. It's actually good to go and sit down with an agent and say, look, I want to buy. What's your advice? There are some people, very good clients of mine, they don't buy anything without saying, blessing come, I want to buy. I ask, what do you want to buy? What is the purpose? What is your plan in the long run? Then I can start discussing what they can get. It's just like people who say, I want to invest in real estate. Yeah, after 2 months, oh, blessing, I actually bought a commercial building, but it's not rezoned. They told me it was zoned. All sorts of things. I'm like, how did you buy?
Buying a commercial building,
Building.
and it's not.
Yeah, he was told it's a commercial building.
That happens.
Told. Things happen. Remember, in our industry, there are fake agents, a lot of them.
How do I know the difference? If they both
That
say
is the
they are
thing that the
registered.
public does not know. Any agent, when they come to you or you come to their office, the license must be displayed. In my boardroom, you've got all the licenses.
Yeah.
The license for like rest properties, for Blessing Sunday, for each and every agent that works here. And you are supposed to be always having it with you. And people don't know that. When a real estate agent knocks at your door, you must ask for the license. Is it still valid? Because that license covers you if an agent makes mistakes. The insurance to pay you back comes from that license.
So if a fake agent or an agent with an expired license does a deal with me and it goes bad, insurance doesn't cover
No,
me.
yeah. It's like dealing with a fake police officer. It's your ignorance. That's what I'm saying. Ask questions because now you want to invest in something. It's like somebody just meets you at the corner and say, I'm selling cars. Which dealership are you with? So it's about time that people take these things seriously. In this city now, I don't know how many people have paid deposits to fake agents. Advertising, same property I'm advertising for 15,000, someone advertises for 7,000, they say I'm the owner. And you pay them 14,000. The next thing they disappear.
They disappear.
Nowhere to be found. Yeah, but he took me there. He said he's the owner. So you find that there's a lot of things that people need
So
to
these
understand.
fake agents can actually have keys to come and do a house tour with you.
What they do, they call Blessing. Blessing, I see your rental. Can I come and see it with my wife? They say to the client, it happened to one of our agents where I was working.
Yeah.
He says to the client, the keys stay with my agent. So I've called the agent to open the unit. So he's going to show us around, then we'll talk later. So they actually go to the house and see it with the... You see now
That's
that
a scam.
people are, I don't know, people have to wake up. It's a good thing you're doing this. Mindset. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be
Probably
true.
is.
Always when people are duped, you must find out what the reason. I'm selling this property for 1 million. This guy says to you, the same property, I'll give you 500,000. Why are you not having questions? Always where somebody's duped, there was red flags, but the person ignored them.
Your gut was telling you something is off and you just
Always.
choose to ignore.
Spiritual intelligence.
We'll get to this one. It keeps coming.
So mistake number one is buying without finding out anything. No research, nothing. This is a big investment. You sit down, you count the cost. You check what is it in for you. Some people buy only to tell you that, yeah, you did mention transfer cost, but I don't have it.
And all these other legal costs.
And
on
we've
the side.
signed everything. The bank has given you 100% bond, but you don't have the 50,000 for transfer and bond cost. The deal goes south. You understand those kind of things. And we've gotten the owners and everyone worked up. We've signed a contract. Everybody's expecting you to do something. You don't have the cost. There's a whole lot of things to buying a property. You need to understand what the property entails. You need to understand what is the process of registering. We
Okay.
have people that buy a property today, they want the keys today because they paid cash into their attorney's account. They don't know that you have to only
I'm
enter
coming tomorrow.
on registration. You understand those kind of things. So you find that a lot of people do not have property education. So they buy the wrong unit, they buy the wrong property, and like flats, silly mistakes. You assume there's a carport. Some complexes, you buy a carport separate from the unit. So you bought a unit, then you ask, where's my parking? Did you buy a parking?
That I haven't
No,
seen
but I
before.
assumed. Yeah.
It's there.
Yes, it's there. There's a complex in Nelspruit here that does that. And if an agent doesn't know, they also assume there's a parking. This is why I offer real estate training to people who want to be agents, because some people, they just get an appointment letter and they start running around selling houses. Because remember, when you get an appointment letter, you get an FFC. You become a candidate agent. But now, if you're not trained well, you don't know some of these things. So some of the agents, they also don't know. So now we're educating the public, because it's not everyone that's going to come to Blessing. Some are going to meet a new agent that is just learning, that is zealous, running with a new driver's license. You know how it is now. You get a driver's license,
need to
you
get
buy a
paid.
first car.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you still vest about the roundabout and stuff. It's the same thing with real estate. It's like new doctors, for instance. He just finished graduating, he did his internship, and then he sees you, she or he sees you, and then the operation goes south. Then they'll tell you, oh, sure, she's just 1 year into this thing. So in every industry is there. So sometimes you meet a candidate agent that truly don't know. But you, as the buyer of the property, I'm seeing this trend now with my buyers this year, last year. They know their story. So if there are some buyers that know their stories, truly, this podcast should be able to wake someone up.
Definitely. And I actually want to encourage you back on social media. Look, someone believed in me at some point and pushed me back. I am listening to you and feeling like, my word, there are many people that need to be listening to you.
No. It's very important. I've seen it. From hating the size of the bedrooms to hating the color of the tubs. And the person walked through once and they bought a house without checking anything. Some people, if it's a guy, he comes alone. Then you come with his wife.
Okay.
Then you come with his children. Then you come with the mother, father, and grandmother. We don't get angry with those people. They know their story. They want to get everyone's opinion because he's going to stay here with his family. So he wants to be sure that whatever he did not see, someone sees. That's how it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't think of that. I could love a property so much, but the kids hate it just as much.
Or your wife says, no, this kitchen, no. It's like my husband, he knows that when we moved to Nelspruit, he had to look for properties because I remained working in Polokwane. And he had to say, no, baby, you have to come and see this house. Because my selling point is the kitchen and the bathroom. Okay. The house can be so beautiful, but if the bathroom does not make sense, sorry, I don't want. I cannot take it. Or the kitchen is tiny and the stove is not workable and stuff. So you find that a man coming to buy a house alone, it's a risk.
He's prioritizing other things.
If a man comes to see a rental, for instance, alone, and I said to him, you're married, you've got family and kids. He says, yes. When are they coming to view? No. I say, please, we don't want problems. Because I've had incidences where the truck is here, the wife says, no, we're not taking this house. But now I have to enforce the contract because I've tried to advise. Yeah. When it comes to the contract of rental, you've come, you've viewed, I've done credit checks, you've signed. Those are the mistakes. You can't get out of the contract. Unless if it's something we made a mistake on our part. But if you saw the house, I'm taking it, sign contract, pay.
Parties involved need to get paid now.
Those are the mistakes that people make. It's a whole lot of stuff.
That's a nice long list. What about selling a home?
Selling a home, people make a mistake of overpricing their homes. That's the worst. People make a mistake of overinvesting in a property that is in a wrong place.
Oh.
I touched on it yesterday. I said, what is called real estate is the piece of land. That is why you see they talk about the richest square mile. The location of the place matters. So we lay emphasis on the value of the land more than the building. It's not about the building, it's the land first. Then after the land, we now check what is there, what can add value there. So that's why
In the building now.
people get angry with property valuers when they look at this house. Yeah, but Blessing, the bank sent this evaluator. Says, no, my house is worth 1.2 million. Then I've invested 3 million in this house. I said to him, the area.
The land first.
Then I have to pull. So please, people must go to estate agents. We have what we call we have a comparative market analysis. Already it will tell you what is the value of this area. I can sit here and tell you the value of Delta, Stonehenge, Kamagugu, I don't even need, when you tell me I'm selling in West Acres, I already know what I'm expecting to hear.
Rough range.
Then if you tell me it's 3 beds, it's four beds, does it have a pool? Rental, sales, I already know how much they go for. Because with me, I'm already an experienced agent. So the moment you start telling me a price, I know already, Then you tell me, no, but the 3 agents said it's fine. Then I'll tell you, as Blessing, if you get that money, I will give you 100 rand.
Now like insurance.
If you get this money, I'll give you 100 rand. Otherwise, it will be. So now, cash buyers, they fall victim.
Okay.
Cash buyers, they fall victim. Because remember, if you are buying a property cash, what are the chances of getting an evaluator? If you are getting a bond, it's a must for the bank to go and evaluate. So if your property is overpriced, cash buyers, please get an evaluator. At least let an agent give a good, don't go to one agent, go to 3 agents and check if the evaluation is the same. Because what happens now, I'll give you an example in Nelspruit. We've got Riverside Estate.
Yeah.
A lot of guys bought those units. And now when they tell me, I'm selling my unit for 2 million, it's below 1 million. Yeah, but I bought it 1.5 million 5 years ago.
What?
From who? I bought it from another person. I said, no, sorry, you're robbed. Sorry, unfortunately.
So in this instance, the big mistake at the point of selling is you made the mistake when you're buying.
Yes, you make the mistake when you're buying, because if you buy an overpriced house, when you are selling it, that is when a house is like, it's like love and marriage. Ne? They say love is blind, marriage is an eye opener. Buying a house is blind, selling is an eye opener. The day that you are selling this house is when you discover, no. I was not supposed to buy this house 2 million.
Yeah.
With a car, know Vele, when I drive away from here, the value is gone.
It's gone.
But with a house, you're expecting it to appreciate.
Yeah.
Now, after 10 years, you are supposed to sell this house lower than the amount you paid for it 10 years ago. That's painful.
I think you've put the fear of God in a lot of people now.
No, I've not put the fear of God. They must come and talk to me. I will help them.
That's a simple solution. Eh?
It's a simple solution, because it's important to know this. You can put 20 stories, but if the land has no value, like a lot of people now, I'll give an example. People are calling me to sell their lodges, emakaya.
Oh.
They want 9 million. Akuna nama title deeds. I can't even give an evaluation. When there's no title deeds, go west. People are building 10 bedrooms in Matafin, for instance. There's no title deeds yet. Msholozi, there's no title deeds yet. So there's not even value on this land. You bought this place 50,000.
Yeah.
You put a 50 million house there. Some of them, I even see their receipts, their tiles, everything. They spend millions. But for Blessing to come and put water in their food and say, guys, I think highest we can get is 350 or 400,000.
After I've spent a
One guy
million.
says to me, are you okay? I'm like, why? I said, how much did you buy the stand? It was 10,000. I said, exactly. No title deeds, nothing. Otherwise, wait until they hear that the city has got title deeds, and then we check the evaluation of the entire area. That's what involves real estate. It's the evaluation of the area, and then when properties start selling, we now have median values. We've got now average, lowest, so on and so forth. We now can compare apples with apples. Or there's 2 beds, because that's the evaluation. If we've said 3 2-bedrooms in this area and they were at a certain price, we know that you are not going to come and get it at any other price. Already a standard is set. So you find that's why you find some people who understand this, when they build a development, they will tell you, you can never sell a property here for below 2 million, because they are setting a standard of the valuation. That's why you find with some people in a certain area, they block a certain people, because they've understood that if somebody come in this area and build something for 200,000, we are done for. Already the evaluation is tampered with, because you cannot lie against that. And if you buy any property that doesn't have value, that's why it's nice to buy 10,000, 5,000, stands. But when you build, you must know there's no valuation yet. So you will get
If you
lucky.
ever decide to sell that
You are just
property,
going to also get a cash buyer that is going to take your word for it and buy it. So cash buyers, be careful. You need to an evaluation first before you can buy. We want you so much, but we also don't want you to come and cry after 5 years. People like me, I cannot uproot myself. So after 5 years, you come back and say, hey, Blessing, you sold me this thing 2 million, but you know this thing is worth 1 million. Why did you do this? You see now. So it's good. That's why our industry, we have code of ethics.
yeah,
People don't know that. We have code of conduct. We have code of ethics. We are governed by the Property Practitioners Act. We have licenses that are renewable every 3 years that we need to uphold. That's why some of us, we don't want to tamper with our licenses. We just do things by the book. So by the book, I'm not even supposed to take you to see a home before I do credit checks. And because you've gone to 5 guys that took you without doing credit checks, if I say to you, I need to know how much you qualify for before I can drive my car to show you a property. Some people take it as an insult. But Experience chapter 10 verse 1 has taught me that a person will make you to show them 5 properties. After seeing those 5 properties, you ask them, so Ubereka Kokai, where are you working? The dude says, I'm in between jobs, I just wanted me and my wife to drive around on a Sunday and see properties. Well, it's good to have faith, but I'm running a business. So those are some of the things that agents make mistakes for.
yeah,
People who are buying a property, because each and everyone must be safeguarded. So before you even go to see this property, you must have a pre-qualification first. How much do you qualify for? If Butintando says to me, oh, as Blessing, I'm buying cash, don't be offended when I say I need to see the bank statements that say that's according to figure.
yeah.
I need to know where, if you really have the money, before I can pick up a car and drive you everywhere to see, so that I know exactly what you qualify for, or I know exactly what you want. And it's important to know what you want. An agent cannot, and I cannot show you what I want. You want a house, specify.
I think we got that lesson nice and good. And in listening to you now, I think I'm also picking up some of the questions that good agents or legitimate agents should be asking. And someone will listen and know at least how to pick and choose. between agents. Let's talk about the last thing as we were wrapping up, spiritual intelligence. This is something that is a passion of yours. What do you have to teach Christians around this?
Everyone, not even a Christian, every human being, scientifically proven, biblically proven, you are a spirit that has a soul that lives in a body. So, spiritual intelligence is understanding where your spirit aligns. Now, whether you are a businessman, you are a worker, whoever you are, you must have a spiritual alignment. It is because of this spiritual alignment that finds people looking for gods everywhere. Some have 10, some have 12, some try different religions. All they are doing is they realize that no man, my
Something is missing.
something is missing. I need to align myself somewhere. You know how spiritual intelligence is important as a worker, as a business person. Your values and your ethics are given birth by your spiritual alignment. So if you are spiritually aligned to God and you are a Christian, then your values come from the Christian values. Then it gives birth to your own spiritual intelligence. Then it comes now, give birth to your emotional intelligence. It will now determine how you relate to other people. Do you know that when your spirit is
So this is the foundation.
yeah, that's the foundation. When your spirit is aligned well, I have people that when I drive to a place to show them a house, they tell me, Blessing, no. What's wrong? My spirit is not connected to this house. And I understand them immediately. Me and my husband were like that. So it applies in every area of life. It's not about, I'm not preaching to you about, this is very important. You know, some will tell you, I've got a sixth sense. There's nothing like sixth sense. That's a spiritual alignment. It's just that maybe some, they don't know where their antenna. Your spirit is like a SIM card.
Okay.
So it must be Vodacom or Cell C. That's the illustration that I got from the Holy Spirit personally. Your spirit is like a SIM card. So you need that tower to connect for you to make a phone call. So spiritual intelligence guides you. Even the house you want to stay in, your spirit to be at peace. You work well with other people. You are connected. You equally know the presence that is not good for you. I was talking to people, spiritual intelligence, how it works, even when you're looking for a job. I gave an example that as a Christian I am. There's a certain place that they're advertising. There are some houses, let me give that example. And I walk in, and there are things and things there that my spirit immediately gives me a warning. Do you understand?
That you don't belong here.
Exactly.
Walk out.
Exactly. Or I might even, so it's alignment. If you are aligned spiritually, you need to find your ground.
And that affects the people that you're going to work with.
Yes.
The business you choose, the relationships
Yes.
you get into.
Yes. Let me give you an example. A person who's not spiritually connected, they are literally like an orphan. There's no ethos there. There's no principles. If you say this person is not principled, what you are literally saying, there's no spiritual intelligence here. They are now discovering it. It's now a subject in schools, spiritual intelligence and emotional intelligence, because that helps to guide you. That thing that makes you say, no, but I need to move. My business must be in Durban. I think when I get to Durban, that connection, your spirituality is alive. That's why you find that you even have dreams and visions. This is what I should be doing. I shouldn't get into a partnership with this one. I shouldn't attend this conference. I shouldn't do this. Those things we are talking about them as we are calling it a thing, and eat
Intuition.
something, something told me not to go out today. It's part of your spiritual intelligence, somewhere you're aligned to. So it's very important. You know, they have this thing that says Zazi, but they're talking about some test of some stuff.
Yeah.
Mina, I say Zazi, you must know where your spirit is aligned. Your spirit cannot be aligned to 10 places. There must be one place, because your ethos, your values, that thing that makes you behave the way you behave. Now, the companies are looking at as spiritual intelligence. Apparently, they can interview you. You are very qualified, but there's something lacking. Because
Even if they can't place a finger
if
on it.
you spiritual intelligence and IQ, they are now saying they are mixed. So they are calling it rational intelligence, which is IQ, spiritual intelligence, and emotional intelligence. If a person does not have these three, they are not a good candidate. And the Bible has been saying this for years. But it has come to humanity from
True.
science.
True.
What does it tell you? Three: spirit, soul, body. So your spirit must be in place for you to come and follow the values and the visions of my mission, my vision.
What advice do you have for someone who says, I hear you, I see the importance, how do I develop it? How do I develop this spiritual intelligence?
That now comes with you sitting down. It's a whole subject. Come for counseling. I'll tell you how much I charge. Look, I'm a spirit. Okay, you didn't ask me who I am. Part of what I am, I'm a trained spiritual health consultant with a certificate.
Is it?
Yes. I'm a trained spiritual health consultant. I'm a trained medical and community chaplain. Well, I'm a registered religious practitioner with a practice number. So if you want more details, it's a long, but there is a way to start it. You need to find out exactly where your spirit aligns. You need to start asking yourself questions. What do you believe in?
Okay.
You find that now people are saying they are naturalists. They believe in trees. They believe in water. All those things is looking for alignment, because something is lacking. It's like somebody whose iron shortage is craving ice.
Yeah.
That's what is happening. So you want to know more about spiritual intelligence, I will do a little podcast about it, but come and see me.
Definitely they should follow you. I know I will. Thank you so much for sharing so much today. It is actually
You have dug it out of me.
way more than I was expecting. And I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you so much. And thank you for hanging with us till this time. If you love the content, share with someone that you know in your life they need to hear this message. Please find someone in your life that you know needs it, and see you on the next episode.
Thank you.